Hi, Mike Boyd Group International, and welcome to Aviation Unscripted. Great to have you here. We're going to be a little bit lighter today. You know, a lot of talk about air service and how it's changed over the years. Believe me, it has. We have a lot of airline memorabilia. My father was in the business from like early 30s on. And a lot of things he collected everything. Various airlines he was with. He was VP of Flight at American, VP of Flight at Mohawk, VP of Flight at Air America / CIA, whatever the hell they were. And there were a lot of neat things that he did archive and keep. And I'm coming across them now, and we have to unload them because, you know, we're downsizing like everybody else. We just don't have the space to keep a lot of the stuff. And it literally was about probably 2,000 square feet of stuff. Now, one of the things we came across was this. You remember, some people might remember back in the 50s, 60s, early 70s even, airlines would put a packet like this in the seat back pocket of every seat. And you'd pull it up and had a lot of neat things in it. Well, this one is from a company called American Overseas Airlines. The history of that airline was pretty simple. During the mid-40s, actually during World War II, a company called American Export Lines, which was an ocean-going company, started a fire. They founded their own airline called American Export Airlines. They were going to compete with Pan Am when the war was over. They ordered 3 Sikorsky S-44 flying boats. Only 3 were ever built. They were supposedly better than what Boeing had. And if any of you were in St. Thomas, back in the 70s, maybe early 80s, in the harbor, there was an old, decrepit, decaying flying boat. That was one of the S-44s. That's now in a museum in Hartford. But one of the things we found there was, in Emily's archives, was a complete set of manuals to one of these 3 airplanes. Pilot manuals, maintenance manuals, operational manuals. I mean, right, pristine, right from the company, showing their headquarters in LaGuardia Airport. Put that on eBay, it went fast. And other things we found, but American bought that company and became American Overseas Airlines. They were going to compete with Pan Am, and for about 4 years, they did. So we went through this. This is really fascinating, the stuff, where they used to treat passengers. Now, in this were all kinds of fun things. You had, of course, the perfunctory schedule to show you how to get back from Hamburg or Helsinki and the other places they flew. We had other things, really kind of exciting things. They actually had in a packet a map, a regular map of the American Airlines system, or the American Overseas Airlines system. In a little packet, it was quite lovely. So during the flight, you could see, where are we going? That was really kind of neat. And of course, you know, the usual informational stuff about, you know, this is why we have turbulence. And this is why the propeller goes round and round, things like that. Of course, if you want to communicate with the kids at home, we've got nice postcards, you know, DC-4 Constellation. They flew Constellations. They also flew later on Boeing 377 Stratocruisers. There was a very, very nice world clock calculator to find out what time it is in Helsinki versus Omaha. And of course, you have to have this, the sticker to put on your bag. That was in there. And of course, if you want to do more than just a postcard, we had correspondence. Now it's upside down. Correspondence from American Airlines that you can send out. Now, if you're upset with the service, in here was a memo you would send to whoever it was. It was a different management system than American itself. You know, at the time, my father was VP of Flight of American, but this was a separate entity. And it was something about Mr. Harris. He could write Mr. Harris and say what you were ticked off about, and I can guarantee, probably like today, they got it. So thank you very much. You know, we'll throw it in the trash can. You could, another thing you got there, you could request a reservation. You'd fill out a form and mail it to American to request a reservation. And other things, going back to New York from Helsinki or Hamburg or wherever, a map of New York City. You want to know that. Then we get into the other interesting things. There was a booklet on the Marshall Plan. So you can be well aware, this is back in the 40s, about the value of the Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe. And you need to be informed about it. And it actually has in here debunking the communist lies about the Marshall Plan. Communists say the Marshall Plan is just here to Americanize Europe. Hell yeah, it was, whatever, you know, to their benefit. The Marshall Plan here is just to denude Europe of any freedom. all that kind of stuff. So you'd have to read this, because if you're going to be sitting at a sidewalk cafe in Paris, you want to be well informed in case a commie comes up and starts talking about the Marshall Plan, man. You can come back in his face. Now comes the thing that I think is absolutely a hoot. In this thing, they have this document called the Etiquette of Ditching. Take a look at this. It's very elegant, ditch. And it talks about when we ditch, don't worry too much about it. It's going to be something it'll be not even a minor inconvenience. What we'll have to do, the airplane will land in the water. You'll get out, get into a raft as you're instructed, and everything will be fine. You'll be on, as they put in here, on the bounding main. Now, keep in mind, they're talking about how do you know your niche when it's time to ditch, whatever. It says never inflate your life raft. It also says recline your seat fully. That's different than today. And then it says, you'll probably hear two bumps when you ditch. They say you ditch, as if you're operating the damned airplane. But when it does, don't get up and move until the airplane completely stops moving. That ain't going to be very long, friends and neighbors. But nevertheless, they talk about it, and they show you how to ditch. They show you how to put on your life vest, I should say. Then they say, getting on the raft will be directed by one of your flagship staff. So it's sure listen to them, because every raft will have a, quote, captain. Listen to what they say as they decide who gets on and who doesn't. Now, I assume back then, I don't know, maybe it was you weren't a platinum member of the frequent flyer program. You sat out in the water bobbing until everybody got on first, boarding procedures. Don't know. But this is it. Once you're on board, it looks like this. Now, I don't know if you see this, but I'll put it up as a picture. Take a look. This is what they portrayed being in a life raft was. Of course, November, December, whatever it is, in the North Atlantic, it would be like this. Look at everybody. There's a guy there wearing a captain's hat with a pair of binoculars. There's somebody else there with a camera. Somebody's fishing. They're all relaxing and having a grand old time, waiting to be rescued. And don't worry about it. It says here, help wanted, and it's on the way. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but I'll put this up too. This is what help looks like. They'll be airdropping you things like, get this, look at this, a birthday cake, a soda complete with a straw. You are going to have the time of your life on this. And apparently they didn't charge you extra for this boat ride. Anyway, this is the kind of thing they went through, and I think it's really a hoot. They show, of course, how to get off of a Constellation and things like that. But there's nothing about making it look like this is really serious shit, man. You're getting off into water that's probably 32 degrees. But wait till you're told to get on the raft, and please don't break out your camera until we tell you to. Anyway, that's kind of the way air travel used to be, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to go over that. Now, this packet, we're going to probably put it on eBay. But if he's interested in it, let me know. We've moved a lot of fun stuff to memorabilia collectors that really value these things. So if you have any thought about this, give us a call. We got other things too, and I'm going to go over it. I'm going to go over some of the ads that airplane manufacturers used to do to show how great their airplanes were. We'll do that in the next couple of weeks. We want to keep things a little bit light. But anyway, that's where we're at. If you're interested in any kind of this memorabilia, let us know. We've got lots of it. Anyway, I want to thank you for joining us here at Aviation Unscripted. We'll be back probably with something a little more serious, but heck, we're here to have fun. And in any case, have a good week ahead.